For the Utah Jazz, George and Sexton in the backcourt. Collins and Kessler there in the middle. And it's Sensabaugh in at small forward. And for the Celtics, the perimeter pairing, it's White and Brown. Tatum is the 4 with Porzingis at center. And it's Johnson in at the point guard position. You know, in game 2 of a back-to-back, just how drained are you from yesterday as a player?
You know, B.A., proper rest and stretching can help a lot. But you're not going to be your usual self at the start of game time. Believe that.
Outside Tatum. Johnson against George. From the arc. And Tatum, the bucket on the assist by Johnson.
And Tatum takes a lot of threes. And you see why, given he has this kind of accuracy.
Here's George. Lays it up and banks it in. Here's Johnson. In his last outing, 16 points for him. Up top, White. Pass to Johnson. Out of bounds. It'll be Utah's ball.
Jazz ball.
And we're about a minute into the first. Stan, you look at the Celtics, as high-powered as they come offensively.
No question, Brian. They can space the floor at every position, and any one of their starters is able to give you 20 on a given night.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts. Chance at a three-point opportunity here. One free throw coming up. You know, Grant, in interviews, Jason Tatum often seems understated and soft-spoken, but that's just him, isn't it?
That's true, B.A. Tatum has a quiet confidence about him. He doesn't feel the need to be loud or act out. He lets his work on the court do all the talking for him.
Well, the Jazz are one of just 10 NBA franchises to never win a championship, Grant.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to believe considering they had the 4th best winning percentage in NBA history. Think about it. If it weren't for one Michael Jordan, they'd probably have 2 rings.
Johnson with a bucket.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
George outside. Into the lane. Utah with another miss.
Yeah, slow start for them offensively. 1 for 5. They need to be more patient and find a better look.
And they're building up steam, getting out in front and trying not to look back.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
Johnson against George. Tatum with some nice D.
Well, that's the look he wanted, but the defense doing just enough to impact that shot.
And when he was younger, Tatum would often try to do it all himself, but now he wants to keep everybody involved.
And Utah calls time here. They're coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
I thought they might have had just enough to take that game, but it was just too little, too late.
He's checked in for Utah. And these have been the league's best shooters since the All-Star break. Number 1, Jason Tatum.
As the season goes on, his shooting has really impressed, making the most of every look he gets at the hoop.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Pass to Sensabaugh. Will it go? That one doesn't drop. Brown with some nice D. Boston leading by 9. Down low. Here's Johnson. His 4th make in 5 tries. Solid start for him.
This run has been fueled by their Matador defense.
Utah's gone 0 for 2 from outside.
First 2 minutes.
Here's Collier. Right now contributing around 10.5 points a game. And Collins with the slam.
Well, great to see in-sync offense like this. The pass is perfectly timed, and Collins rises up and puts it down.
Johnson passes to Tatum, and finished off by Tatum.
They've been very effective so far. a balanced attack at its best.
Yeah, now it's all about maintaining this lead, but you can't start playing it safe. You got to keep attacking.
And they've stopped the action here. They're using their coach's challenge to see if they can get this foul overturned.
People were worried that this would slow the action down. But with so many close calls in every game, the NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
Here's Collier, covered by Johnson. Outside Sexton, pass to Collier. Wide open look. Utah with another miss.
And unlike some other guys, missing a wide open look won't hurt his confidence at all.
Outside Johnson. 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Tatum can't hit. Jazz trail by 14. Here's Sexton. The Jazz again can't hit.
This is not what they need from him this quarter. He is way off.
Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
They've controlled the paint so far. That's been the difference.
Yeah, it's not difficult to figure out why they built this lead. They have been dominant in the paint.
Here's Sensabaugh. Looking to win the run. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. It's the Celtics up by 16. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, we've seen the Celtics really take control here.
Oh, what a first quarter. You love their willingness to make the extra pass.
Yeah, it's the kind of offense every coach loves to see. Selfless and smart.
Taking a look at the Jazz. Keontae George out there with Collier. Then it's Filipowski. Then there's Kenyon Martin. And it's Hendricks in at the power forward position. To the middle. The shot by Johnson, no good. Jazz trail by 13. The 16th pick in last year's draft. Keontae George was thrown right into the fire his rookie season, Stan.
Yeah, down the stretch, he was basically handed the keys to the offense at the point guard position. He may take some lumps, but his talent level is evident.
Grabs the board and goes right in for the putback. I love it, B.A.
Yeah, wanted to close off the lob. Jason Tatum.
Yeah, nice lob there, and what a leap by Tatum. You just have to admire that kind of play.
And Utah calls time here. And the rate of player ejections going up in recent seasons, Stan.
Well, Brian, players these days certainly have a voice in a lot of things, and when it comes to critiquing officials, they're not shy. We see complaints on virtually every call in games now, and the referees seem to have had enough of it.
Here in March, things are heating up. Let's check out the teams in the West. You take a look at Utah, a really frustrating season for them. They're looking forward to the draft.
Checking out the Jazz, they need to take a long look at this team. They really need to think about what they can change. Not sure whether that goes for the coaches or the players or possibly both.
And we had a feeling this is how their season was going to go. But that doesn't mean it has to continue. The pressure is on for this franchise to turn things around.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Thanks. Well, MP in their last game against the Lakers was outstanding. He dropped in 16 points, and his shot was on point, especially from downtown and the charity stripe. And he's been on a tear, playing confident and doing anything he wants on the floor. He is so hard to stop. Brian?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much of that performance carries over into this one.
His goal is to provide whatever the team needs from him on that particular evening.
Well, I'm sure he's coming in with a lot of confidence after last game. He wants to have a repeat performance here tonight.
Just 5 to shoot. The Jazz need to get one up in a hurry. George for three. Rebound Boston.
And you have to think that they're leading this game because of how they've controlled the boards tonight.
Well, Stan, since trading Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell in 2022, the Utah Jazz have done some reshaping of their roster.
Yeah, and Brian, it's clear that they're not done. The tinkering continues. They're going to continue to move pieces around until they find what they think can become a championship contending team.
That's been the story of their offense so far, getting a number of looks from point-blank range.
Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt and just muscling it in. George, very aggressive.
Timeout called. The Celtics. This game against Utah, the first time they've met this year.
And somewhat surprisingly, the club split their two meetings last year.
Yeah, these non-con... Conference matchups are a good measuring stick for a team. Taking on less familiar opponents can tell you a lot.
And some changes here. And so it's the Boston Celtics with plenty of
the score. The Celtics 45. The Jazz, 22.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. The two Jays, Brown at the 3 and Tatum at the 4. Johnson is out there with Derek White. And it's Porzingis in at the 5, roaming the paint. And that's the group for Joe Mazzulla as we begin the second half. Inside, here's Sensabaugh, and he makes it. Sensabaugh's got his third bucket of the night.
Yeah, every coach wants assisted buckets. Guys like George, they move the ball.
Brown finds Johnson. Pass to Porzingis. 4 on the clock. Brown can't hit. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Jazz. Their next game is at FedEx Forum in Memphis for a matchup with the Grizzlies. And that'll mark the end of this 5-game road trip. White, good.
I like the unselfish approach from Brown there. Willing to give it up to his open teammates.
And you look at Jaylen Brown, Grant. Not many wings have the strength he has.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown could dunk over a brick wall. And he could dunk through a brick wall, too. And it's just so hard to move him off his path when he's on his way to the rim. Making the most of the second chance opportunity.
Hey, the hustle is real, and the hustle is rewarded.
I'll tell you, those finishes are always extra special when they come from your point guard.
Oh, forget about his passing. Can we see more dunking?
Wow, that is an impressive vertical for a point guard. My goodness.
Brown passes to Johnson. Outside Tatum. Fires for 3. Cash. It's MP picking up the assist. Johnson's got his 4th assist with that last one. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Brian, it's great hearing Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla talk shop. He said everybody tries to break basketball up into offense and defense, but it's one game. Your spacing, decision-making, and shot selection set up your defense. That transition happens so fast, so the game is constantly changing. It's all connected, Brian.
No question. Thanks, Allie. Good stuff there. Here's Sensabaugh, defended by Brown. Now the Celtics on the move. Here's Tatum, and finished off by Tatum.
Well, we've come to expect this from Tatum. Just so good at taking over games all by himself.
Timeout called, the Jazz. And, Coach, you've been lauded by some of your former players for your pregame preparation. I've seen it myself in the broadcasting world.
Well, I've also been cursed by some of those players for my pregame walkthroughs, Brian. People thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible and was one that always believed I'd rather do too much than too little.
And Boston.
Substitution on the court.
12 seconds left to play in the third quarter here. Outside Craig. Jacks up a 3. Buries it from 3.
And he's been an ideal teammate tonight. He's really creating plenty of looks with his passing.
Yeah, when there's been an open man, he's found it. And you love to see a guy dishing it like this.
And so it's the Boston Celtics with 0 pressure as they hold on to a 35-point advantage. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with efficiency. And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the 4th. They've got John Conchar, and it's Hendricks in at the 3. Here's Kata. Cash. It's MP picking up the assist. Johnson's got 6 assists in the game. And for the Jazz, they're shooting 40% so far in this one. Here's Springer, covered by Johnson. Pass to Sensabaugh. Shot clock at 5. There's the block. And they recover it. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. That one on Craig.
First team foul.
And they want a second opinion on that call. The signal for the coach's challenge has been made.
And even with the coach's challenge in place, we've seen so many of these personal foul calls still disputed even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls.
Timeout.
But at least we have the option to take a second look. So the officials can be sure they get it right. And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still heaved.
And the Celtics making a change here. White's checked in, and Utah with a change here too. Mikhailuk's checked in.
Take a break. 2 shots.
He's checked in for Boston. Johnson comes in for White. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Celtics.
Well, they've really been sharing the basketball. All coaches talk about that, try to get their teams to do it. It's really great when you see it in action.
Yeah, another thing they did well was feed the ball into the paint. They really utilized their size there tonight.
George against Johnson. Up top, Collins. One of the biggest challenges for coaches these days, Stan, is roster turnover. How do you deal with the player movement?
Well, look, Brian, it's to be expected, first of all. And second of all, every year starts new. You start from square one every year, and you build it. And if you make an in-season deal, you start over again from square one and build it up.
Outside Johnson. Late clock. The Celtics got to hurry here. Here's Walsh. They grab their own miss. Johnson passes to Brown. MP scanning the floor. Outside Craig. Shoots over Collins. That's good from Craig. On the assist by Johnson.
This has to feel good. They gave their fans a show and secured the W.
Yep, the crowd gets to go home feeling good about the win tonight. Their team looked impressive.
Outside Johnson. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Craig on the wing. The 3 connects from downtown.
Leaving nothing to chance. This run shutting the door on him.
Yeah, this run has poured a bucket of water on any ember of a potential comeback.
Johnson, first personal foul, 5th team foul. Jazz substitution. Hendricks, Kenyon Martin
12
Jr.
seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. Here's Hendricks. Can they get it? Sexton with it. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. We saw 2 different teams tonight. One played with confidence, operating flawlessly. The other just